A book is no longer just a bunch of paper joined together. Even books have evolved. Hey guys, welcome back onto the channel. This is your host, Genius Apple, and today I'm diving into the never-ending, most controversial debate about books, which is ebooks versus books. Now this debate never ends, and before we dive into the video, I want to ask you which you prefer. Write down the one which you prefer in the comments below. I will be checking out every single comment, so make sure you comment it. So it is a really controversial debate. Many people see pros and cons of both ebooks as well as books. Many people prefer ebooks while many people prefer books. In this video, first of all, I'm going to be explaining what an ebook is. Second, we're going to be telling the disadvantages and advantages of both ebooks and books. In the end, I'm going to be comparing them. So stay tuned. So what is an ebook? An ebook literally stands for electronic book. It basically means you have access to millions of books worldwide on your mobile device, or well, if you just choose to buy an ebook reader. Well, all of this is pretty amazing, but in this video I'm going to be telling you the pros and cons of an ebook and the pros and cons of a book. So let's dive right into it. Here are the pros and cons of an ebook. The first, an ebook is easily portable. You can carry it anywhere around since it is really thin and small, and it's like a library, a whole large, beautiful, millions of books filled library at your fingertips. Everything is in your control and in that small device. It's easy to carry among stacks of papers and other things thrown together. This ebook will not take up much of your space. The second advantage is you can read ebooks in the dark. When you have a device to read ebooks, it's pretty easy that you can set the brightness, set everything according to your eyes, and you can choose how you want to read the book. You can read it at night, as you can set the brightness high and it will be clearly visible. But you can keep it at a medium so that you do not harm your eyes. Of course, this does have a lot of glare on your eyes, but still, it is a big accomplishment in the field of technology. You can read in the dark. So say for example, you don't want to disturb someone who is sleeping, but you want to read your book and you're not tired. Well, all you have to do is slam that light button and then just directly open your device and start reading the book, and the other person is happy, you're happy. Win-win. Now, the third advantage is you can change the font size. Many people have problem in sight and they are unable to read small tiny words which otherwise cannot be changed in an actual book. But in an ebook, you can set it. You can set the font size. Even if you want it this big, you will get letters this big, this large, just for you to read if you have difficulty in reading letters that are teeny tiny. It is really easy to set all of this, and everything is available on that device. So let's go over the advantages again. The first one is it is easily portable. Second, you can read in the dark. Third, you can check the font size and set it according to your free will. Now I wanted to talk about the disadvantages of an ebook. You can lose your files is the first disadvantage. If you've not backed up your files or synced your ebook device with another device, it is pretty sure that when that device gets spoiled or gets lost, all your millions of books go poof. They'll all be gone, and it's a big hassle of buying the device again and then syncing it with the old account so that all your books come in. Then you need to check that if every single book has come back or not. Otherwise, your money is also poof. Second one is it is really hard to read ebooks in the sunlight. Because as you can see, if you're holding a mobile device, it's really hard for you to read in sunlight because the glare of the sun will be on the device and you'll not be able to see. Even if you keep changing the brightness, it is still pretty hard to read in sunlight. So of course, a book is pretty clearly an easy way to just flip it open and read on the beach. The third disadvantage is you need to charge an ebook. An ebook cannot work forever continuously. You need to charge it so that its batteries are full, and then you'll have access to all your different settings. Otherwise, neither you'll be able to read your books nor will you be able to set anything because your battery will be really low. Whereas in a book, you can easily read it whenever you want. Even if you want to read a book forever, again and again and again, in theory, nothing is ever going to happen to that book. Now that we're done with the pros and cons of an ebook, let's dive into the pros and cons of a book. Now here are the advantages of a normal book. The first one is they are easily available. You can get books nearly in every bookstore. Of course, that's why it's called bookstore. But it is easily available. Books are available in every single place on the planet. If your place anywhere near you does not have books, then well, you are in the middle of nowhere. You can buy books anywhere and they are really easily available. Whereas if you want to buy an ebook reader, you'll have to go onto online websites and search over there to buy an ebook reader. Then it's a big hassle to buy the book first and then sync it with your device so that it jumps into the device. So of course, in terms of availability, books are certainly better. The second one is actually related to your mental feelings. It is the feel of reading a real book. An ebook reader can never ever beat the feeling of reading a real book. A real book is something that makes you want to read it again and again, and you have the feel of holding it in your hands, reading it. And this actually branches up into many more aspects, such as if you have an ebook reader, you cannot let's say you want to show off to your friends, not that you should do that, but you want to keep a personal library. You cannot do that. You cannot see all your books looking neatly stacked and all in one place because they are just in a small device. So the feel of seeing your books, the feel of reading and holding a book in your hand is something that an ebook can never give you. Now the third advantage of a book is they are cheap. Second-hand books can be attained anywhere and they are much cheaper than the ebook versions themselves. Of course, you can buy second-hand books, third-hand books, well, if you have really bad luck, even fourth-hand books, but they are really cheap and much cheaper than an ebook. Now we jump into the disadvantages of a book. Now it is the size. The first one has to be the size, because it is heavy, it is big and really hard to carry around. In terms of an ebook reader, you cannot carry a book around here and there because it will weigh a lot and it will take up lots of space in your carrying area. Since an ebook reader does not take much of place because it is a small device which you are using. The second disadvantage of a book is you need a light source. Like I mentioned in the advantage of an ebook reader, you do not need a light source. You can read it in the dark by adjusting the brightness. But for a book, you do need a light source. So remember the thing I spoke about before in this video, that a person wants to sleep? Well, they can't because you've turned on the light. And that's what you need to read your book. So lose. And the third disadvantage is the area that books take up. If you have 200 books on your ebook reader, they'll all fit in that small device. Whereas 200 books in real life will take up so much area in your house. So now without any further ado, let's jump into the conclusion of this video in which I compare both of them. Now you can see I've given you the advantages and disadvantages of an ebook as well as a book. Now I am going to talk to you honestly, give you my feelings. Well, your feelings matter, and of course if you like any of these two, mention it down in the comments and do not criticize me because these are my honest feelings. I feel that a book is much better than an ebook because after all, books actually, they can relate to your memories. Let's say somebody gave you a book and you've not seen them in a long time. Looking at that book, you'll be able to remember them again and again. These kind of books can also be passed on forward. They can be sold as second-hand books. They can be bought as second-hand books. So basically, that type of book lives forever. But as I said, in ebooks, it's a big hassle to pass one book to another. So basically, it's all about your mental thinking. If you like books, then give this video a like. If you like ebooks, subscribe down to the channel. So without any further ado, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to see you guys next time.